Be free! Don't be a fucking commie! The state doesn't own you, the state doesn't own me! If you don't watch my motherfucking YouTube, gonna stick your dick to your leg with some super glue! Oh, that's right, guys. It's time. It's time to talk about this fucking skank, Susan Rosenberg.
I spent almost 11 years in isolation units, solitary confinement, maximum security conditions, in the hardest places for women.
And why is that, Susan? It's either because of the evil criminal justice system or because you're a fucking convicted communist terrorist. One of those for sure.
Susan Lisa Rosenberg has been in prison for 16 years and may yet serve another 20 for a murder she was never tried for.
The murder that she was never tried for, well, I spoke about it in my Kathy Boudin video. Because she was involved in the M19CO, and she was friends with Kathy Boudin and David Gilbert and all those guys who robbed that Brinks truck and killed 3 people. As a matter of fact, the getaway vehicle that was wrecked by Judith Clark because she's a moron and didn't know how to drive had Susan Rosenberg's fingerprints all in it. The hideout where they staged the robbery and planned the robbery had Susan Rosenberg's fingerprints all in it. But they didn't catch Susan at the robbery, you see. She got away, and she was on the run for a little while, but they were looking for her. And when they caught her, she was unloading like 700 pounds of dynamite and automatic weapons into a storage locker in New Jersey that was purchased with a stolen credit card. The guy who ran the storage facility called the law, and they showed up, found her there, doing what she was doing, figured out who she was. They arrested her. She never went to trial for the murders of Waverly Brown and all those guys because she took a plea deal. She pled guilty for what they caught her red-handed with, and they decided that since that was enough to charge her, or to sentence her rather, with 58 years in federal prison without parole, they decided to go ahead and take that deal, and they decided not to convict her for those murders. She's a murderer. And if you're thinking that media bias in favor of fucking commies is some kind of new wave, new thing, you are mistaken. This is a 60 Minutes episode from the year 2000 where she cries about how awful she had it for no reasons, and she's a political prisoner, and then Bill Clinton commuted her sentence. It's the only reason she's free today. 2001, last day in office, commuted her fucking sentence.
Her name is Susan Lisa Rosenberg. For the past 16 years, she's been in prison. If the government has its way, she could spend another 20 behind bars for a crime she says she did not commit and knew nothing of. A crime she's never even been tried for.
What are you, retarded?
This is actually disgustingly shitty journalism. They say, oh, because she said she didn't do it, she says this. Okay, that's good journalism. What's not good journalism is when they say that she is in prison for that crime. She was not in prison for the crime of the Brinks robbery. She was in prison for getting caught with hundreds of pounds of dynamite and automatic weapons.
I know you're not retarded. But, what are you, Down syndrome?
So what the fuck is Susan up to nowadays, you might be asking? Because you know that's where we're going on this channel.
Free her! Free her! Free her! Free our sisters! Free ourselves! Free our sisters!
That's enough of that stupid fucking shit. Read this fucking wiki. Bah, 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 bah. Oh yeah, so let's just check out the Wikipedia. Yeah, usual money shill. Okay. Yeah, American activist, blah, 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 prisoners' rights, Black Liberation Army, 81 Brinks, M9CO, Communist Organization, Asada Shakur, a middle-class Jewish family. No, she was born into a fucking super rich-ass family. That's horseshit. Her activism, Democracy Now!, Puerto Rican Independence Movement, COINTELPRO, Communist Organization, Feminist Causes, Black Liberation Army, Weather Underground. Yeah, this is pretty interesting stuff in here. But what's important right here? What's she doing? What's she doing nowadays? No. Oh yeah, she published a memoir of her time in prison called An American Radical, a political prisoner in my own country. She was not a political prisoner. She was convicted of possession of explosives and illegal firearms. There's nothing political about that. What's it say? As of 2020, Rosenberg serves as the vice chair of the board of directors of Thousand Currents, a nonprofit organization that sponsors fundraising and does administrative work for the Black Lives Matter Global Network, among other clients. Imagine my shock. Every fucking time that you shake the BLM tree, another commie falls out. Another weatherman, another M19CO person. There are so many of them in here. And it's a little misleading to say that they do work for BLM. They are the fiscal sponsor of BLM. All the money that you donate to BLM goes through Act Blue and goes to Thousand Currents. And Susan Rosenberg, as the vice chair, is in charge of administering all of that money. And she's using it to brainwash more kids. It's a cycle. And once they have enough Riris on their side to put together a little army, it's on, motherfuckers. So that's something to look forward to, my friends. Keep your fucking mags loaded, I guess. Thanks for watching. And remember, don't be a fucking commie.